Hi folks, welcome back to the shop. Today I'm kind of excited to be talking to you about this Olight Baton 4 Premium Edition flashlight. You can see here that it's a charging case that can charge your flashlight up to 5 times, and the flashlight itself, the Baton 4, puts out 1300 lumens. A quick look at the back, you can get the different run times. You can see it does 1300 lumens on high. Here it is. I've got it in OD green. OD, of course, stands for olive drab green. There's a quick look at the case. We're going to spin that around now. One of the first products that I covered on this channel was the Baton 3 premium wireless charging case, and the Baton 3 flashlight. You can see the idea is that you have a flashlight in this case. In the back side of this case, a charging case, it has a battery in here. The newer case has a larger battery. That's why the new case is a little bit larger. But on the other side of the case, we have a flashlight and a charging port at the bottom of the case. So you can pop your flashlight in here when you need to charge it up. You get a green light indicator here on the front. You can see right here that the flashlight is charging. And also, when we first open this case, you'll see there's a green light here in front of the case itself that lets you know that the charging case is fully charged. So that's the original Baton 3 premium charging case. So this is an update, the second generation of charging cases they've come out with, and you can see that this one's a little bit bigger. They've made it different. You'll notice they've cut down right here in the front, making it easier to pull the flashlight out. And they've also oriented it differently. You can see in the old case that the clip for the flashlight is in the front, whereas in the new one it's in the back. And I think that helps with several different things. So for one, you can see the flashlight's UI. So if I touch this Baton 4 flashlight, you can see the charge indicator there. I can see how much charge is in the flashlight. We got 5 lights lit up out of a total of 6. Also, with the flashlight clip in the back, it makes it more intuitive for you to have the flashlight in hand. Typically, you're going to hold it here with your thumb on the flashlight, and you're going to turn it on. When you turn it off, you're going to typically just going to drop it in the charging case here. So I think it's oriented to make it more user-friendly. I think it's more natural that you'll want to put this flashlight in with the charging clip in the back of the case. The third thing is this little cutaway here where they've cut it down versus the old case, right? That allows you to put in right-angled flashlight. You can also see right here at the top of the charging case, it tells you which flashlights it's compatible with. So you can obviously charge the Baton 4, but it also mentions the Perun Mini and the Perun 2 Mini. So this can charge more lights than the original charging case could. So those are some of the major differences. It's got a larger battery, so more charging capacity. It can also charge your iPhone, or anything. So it can act as a battery bank. So you could charge up something by plugging this USB-C cable in the case itself. I happen to have an iPhone here, so I plug it into the iPhone. You can see it starts charging the iPhone. So that's pretty handy that it works as a battery bank. So that's an added feature. That's something that wasn't part of the Baton 3 case. So that's kind of a quick look at the case and a comparison between the two. Biggest difference being that cutaway and the higher charging capacity and the battery bank. It definitely doesn't feel much heavier in the hand. I thought this case would seem a lot bigger than it does, but it seems to be really good. And one of the major differences on this flashlight is that this one has the charge indicator on the case right on the front and a digital display. As I mentioned earlier, on the Baton 3, when you open it up, you can see there's just a green LED indicator, right? Whereas this guy gives you that full digital display, and tells you that what the exact charges of the case, so you know where it's at. Has a USB-C port here, comes with a charging cable. They both come with charging cables. So both of these can charge up through this port. Here's the case. I've got to plug in the USB-C cable that came with this charge case. Pop it in there. You can see that it starts flashing here, a little lightning bolt on the LED indicator, and it'll show the percentage until it's fully charged. Let's take a look at the flashlight itself and compare the Baton 4 to the Baton 3 real quick. All right, so here's the two flashlights side by side, and you can get a feel here. You can see that they're about the same form factor, right? So the flashlight didn't get any bigger. It has a 100 lumen higher output, but the flashlight itself is not any larger. Quick look at the side here. You can see here it's still got the Olight logo on the side. Of course, they've added this little icon, I guess, to let you know that's how you control the flashlight. We can spin it around the other side here. You can see Baton 3, Baton 4 on the side. That's how it looks there. The clips themselves are about the same. I don't really see any distinctions in the clips. They both have a hole at the top. I guess it's sort of a lanyard hole if you want to use it for that. But otherwise, the clips look pretty much identical. The biggest change is going to be on the front. When we look at these two flashlights, you can see the button has changed. And you know, the original flashlight, if we were to turn it on, light shows green on it, and it stays green while you're running the flashlight to let you know it's fully charged. That'll turn amber when it gets lower, and it turns red when it needs to be recharged. On the new flashlight, if we turn it on, you can see it has a series of lights that come on, right? So there's 3 lights over here, and there's 3 lights over here. So there's 6 lights total, and they go off. Notice they don't stay on green like the original Baton flashlight. So turn it off, turn it on again. You can see I've lit up 5 lights there. So it gives you more details about what the charge status is of your flashlight. And of course the button itself is flatter. So if we look here from the side, you can see that the Baton 4's button, okay, if we look at that kind of closely, notice that it's completely flush, okay, on that Baton 4 flashlight. In fact, if I back this baton, see that? Totally flush the button is, and it's about the same size. So those are the major differences that I see. Mostly the UI update on this flashlight, and you've got another 100 lumens. If we look at the front, another thing that's interesting is you'll notice that in the old flashlight, I'm going to flip this around so you can read it right side up here, you'll see that it does tell you that it's 1200 lumens on the Baton 3, tells you the CCT, right, the temperature of the lights. Doesn't have that listed on this OD green flashlight. I guess they don't put it on the Baton 4, not sure, but it's not on this one. That's a look at the top and the lens itself, okay, so not a whole lot of difference in the lights with the UI change on the Baton 4 and the improved lumen output. Now, if we look at the case real quick, like I said, the clip's oriented differently. You can put this light in the case. Now, and this thing can take, like I said, the right angle flashlights, but it's also compatible with the Baton 3, okay, fully compatible, backwards compatible. So for example, if you were to turn on your Baton 3 flashlight, okay, put it in the case on and you shut the case, it turns off, okay? It won't do that with the Baton 2, it doesn't support it. Of course, it's the same thing with the Baton 4. If I put the Baton 4 in here, let's say I turn it on, okay, put the Baton 4 in here and I shut the case, it turns the light off, all right? Now, what's interesting about this case is you can turn the flashlight on. See, here's a green indicator telling me that the flashlight's charging. So if I turn this light on, you can get a charge status looking at the light, right? You can see you can see its charge status. Another reason why I think they dipped this case down, right? So you can see what the current status is of how much charge is in your flashlight. But another thing that's interesting is this display for the percentage of battery is also a button. So if I push this, I can turn the flashlight on or off, right? And I can even, you know, push this button here where the digital battery percentage is. I can push this button and hold it down and cycle through the different modes, right? But what's interesting is see how it goes up, it fades up slowly, and it fades down slowly. If I can get it to do it. Yeah, see now it's going down. It doesn't step up in increments like the flashlight does itself. So it's interesting to me, they've changed the behavior of the flashlight in the case. Now if I hold this button down, see how it steps? It doesn't fade up and fade down. It steps through the way typical Olight flashlights do. Whereas if I hold this button, gradually goes up in brightness, gradually goes down. So interesting, you can operate the flashlight in the case. I think that was the idea. You can use it in the case. It's still charging the whole time. If you need a flashlight real quick while it's charging, turn it off, or you don't have to turn it off. You can just shut the case. It turns the light off. So really nice flashlight from Olight. Really nice charging case. I can't say enough about it. I found with the Baton 3 as I was using it that oftentimes I would never charge this flashlight on a charging cable. That it was just more convenient for me to, you know, keep this charger in a bag, and like let's say it's in the truck, well I just pop this thing in the charging case, let it always charge in the case. So I never charge this on a cable, right? So it's just very convenient to do. Pop it in the case, ensure it's charged. Next time I need it, I pull it out of the case, it's ready to go. There's no looking for the flashlight. You're less likely to make mistakes, you know, leaving your flashlight behind when you're working on a project. And of course this flashlight is compatible with an Olight charging cable. It doesn't come with it because you have the charging case. But you can see it's compatible with the charging cable, just like most Olights, just like you can charge this Baton 3 with the same charging cable. So it is compatible with that. You don't have to use the charging case to charge it. You know, it's one of these things you don't understand how handy it is until you have one of these charging cases from Olight. I do think this is, you know, one of the best, I think it's the best flashlight in the market. It's really my favorite flashlight. So this style of flashlight, this size of flashlight from Olight, the Baton 3 or the Baton 4 form factor, you know, I really like it. Now, one of the drawbacks is, of course, is the runtime, because the flashlight has a smaller battery in it. But you can look at here at this Baton 3 Pro, you can see it's much larger. Therefore, this Baton 3 has a lot longer runtime because of the bigger battery. But, you know, Olight's done a good job of making up for that by giving us this charging case. So really makes this light viable. And one of the other key features I like about this light is it can quickly be used as a hat light. You pick the clip up, slip it on your hat. The button is right where you expect to find it. You can orient and find it quickly to turn it on when you make it a hat light. Push the button, it turns off. It's so lightweight you really can't feel it on the hat. You know, it's nondescript, so really nice that it can be used as a hat light. Now let's go through the light modes on this flashlight. You can see the base is magnetic. That makes it nice and it's handy as a work light. Now if I take this switch and I hold the switch in, it goes into moonlight mode. It's a very low mode. It's designed to save your night vision when you're camping or you're doing something in the dark. You don't want to wake everybody up. That's the idea, is it's a very low mode. So if I hold it down, it goes into low mode. Okay, hold it down again, medium, high. Keep holding it, it'll keep cycling. Back to low, medium, and high. Back to low, okay? Now if I double tap this light, or the button, now it gives me the turbo mode. That's the full 1300 lumen output. If I triple tap the button, it gives me the strobe mode. Push the button again, of course it turns it off. Now another thing you can do on this that I've never shown on this channel before is that if I turn it on, and I'm going to go down to low mode here, of course it remembers what mode you were on when you turn it off and back on. It's got memory. So I've got it on low right now. If I tap this button and then hold it on the second tap, see it just flashed once? I just set a timer. Now I don't know if that timer is 2 or 3 minutes, but the idea is you set a timer and you can set the light down and it will shut off automatically. Say you turn it on when you go to bed or you're settling in for the night when you're camping, it'll shut off on its own. But if I do this a second time, I'm going to tap it, hold it down, see it flashes twice. It sets a long timer. I think that long timer is around 9 minutes. You'll have to look in the manual for sure, but so it has this timer feature as well on the flashlight. So a lot of different modes with this Olight flashlight. So let me know in the comments what you think. Are you interested in this Baton 4? You think you'll buy one? Maybe you have the Baton 3. How's your experience been? I'd be interested in knowing that in the comments. I'll also have a link to both these products in the description. With the coupon, you can save some money on this Baton 4 on a sale right now. So please remember to like and subscribe. All those actions help me to continue to bring content to this channel. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video.